Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I've done a video on here. I think for a little while I was struggling creatively to come up with both ideas and just the motivation to create videos. But I'm back. I've had a little bit of a creativity burst over the last few weeks, which has been really nice. I'm making this video because I realised in my last few videos I never really mentioned that I have a website. Back during my last video it didn't have much on it, but now I've written a small handful of short stories which are now available to read for free on my website. It's jakegraysonwrites.com. Pretty happy with it so far, still got a long way to go. There's about 5 short stories on it at the moment. I'm currently working on another one and I have a few other ideas planned. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of it and I think that's what I'm going to use. That's kind of where I'm most active, is where I'm most comfortable, because I have blogs on there as well, and that's kind of where I go into detail about similar things I talk about on here. But yeah, that's kind of the only reason I wanted to make this video really, because I just want more people to go see it and read it and share it and let me know what you think. It's kind of just, it's not like a professional portfolio, it's more just like a place for me to write and experiment. And I feel like even if the stories that I write there are bad, I want to keep them there because it's kind of like a time capsule of my progress. Because I'm not only going to do short stories on there, I'd also like to do sort of challenges. So one of the thoughts I have is to literally sit down and write without even having a plan of what I'm going to write and try and come up with a story, because I feel like that's good for the brain and I feel like it'd be quite good and possibly quite funny to have what I write on available on that website. I was also thinking of doing like 100-word challenges to see how much of a story I can write in just 100 words. I think the stories I've written there at the moment, they range in like genres, and I want to try and get as many genres in there as possible. Because at the moment there's some quite funny stories. For example, the latest one I've written is called When I Was Big, and it's about a girl, well it's about a woman who suddenly wakes up as her 7-year-old self, and it turns out her entire adult life has been a dream. And that one, it was quite hard to write actually, because there's so much to unpack if that really happened. Because originally it was supposed to be like, oh yeah, she's like a child again, she can do whatever. But then as I was writing it, I was like, actually, there's a lot of things about adulthood that you really miss if that happened. So I didn't want to completely ignore that, so I kind of, the story kind of became her going back and forward of whether she's happy to be a child again or not. So yeah, it's quite a nice story, quite a deep one. I also have one called War Games, which I had a lot of fun writing. That's basically about children having a pillow fight, and that's it. And it kind of goes into the imagination of the children, and that was a really fun one to write. And then on the opposite side of that, I also have some quite serious stories in there. So one of the ones that actually got me inspired to start writing stories again is called Friday the 8th of December 2023. And that's a bit of an odd title, you may think, but it's basically a true story. It's the last time I saw my mum before she passed away, and it wasn't originally supposed to be a story. It was supposed to be just a piece of writing that I wrote for me to get those feelings out just for myself, and the way I can do that is through writing. I have a full blog about it which I'll link in the description, as well as the website, and kind of any other stories I'll link in the description. But yeah, I was writing this story and then I just thought, this is actually a good piece of writing, and I thought, why don't I share it, you know? Like, it's a true story, it gets like the feelings are real and raw, and I was pretty proud of it, so I thought, why not publish it? So I did that, and then I kind of got this, like, when I did that I was like excited to write again. So then I think one of the problems before was that I was so caught up in writing this one book and this one long story that I just felt like I was nowhere near the finish line, and that excitement of getting into the story just wasn't really happening yet. But with short stories you can write the full thing in less than a day and then spend like all the time you need, refining it and perfecting it. And I think once I'd done that one story, I realised I really liked that feeling. So I just started writing more, and being able to start it and finish it is something I haven't really ever been able to do. And now I've done it multiple times, and they're all linked to how I felt one way or another at some point in my life, which I guess is every writer, is where their writing inspiration comes from. But yeah, that's kind of the story of how I rebirthed this website. So yeah, if you want to check it out, then please do. A lot of the stories I'm really proud of. Some of them are a little bit iffy, so there's a couple on there that I wrote about 4 years ago, and they're still good, but they're not as perfected as my current ones. So yeah, I'll probably go back and fine tune them, but I am really proud of the other ones. I've created like book covers for them all, and for each story, I think, maybe not for every story, but for a lot of the stories I'm going to sort of do a breakdown blog, similar to this video really, of just like where my inspiration came from, the process of writing it, how I feel about the characters, just because I like talking about it. So yeah, I think that's kind of everything I want to say about this website. I'm just really proud of it. Again, it's jadegraysonwrites.com. I'll probably post more regularly on there than I will on here, because that's kind of where I feel most comfortable. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say today. So thank you for watching. Please go visit my website, and I'll see you later. Bye!